Shout out to the people in the building. Alright, starting off, we here, man. It's been a minute, man. I'm all laid up. I ain't even popped my collar down, man. It's so cold out here. Got the thermal on, got the, man, it's cold. Got insulated in. This is an insulated skull cap. But we're going to get on right into it. Shout out to my boy APTV, Absalom Bianchi. I'm not here for a long time. He always say he's going to be like ranch and dip. That he got the cliches. But, man, inflation right now is crazy. Like, once again, went about dinner. Got a couple things added on to it. Some stuff for tomorrow. We're going to make turkey sandwiches. So we actually went to Publix, me and my wife, actually seen sliced turkey meat. So we decided to make fresh turkey meat sandwiches. Sliced turkey meat, like I think it was like sliced thighs or something like that. But so it was like as fresh as it can be. Get this turkey meat, cook it. Plan on cooking turkey wings. It's cold outside, so tomorrow once we finish dinner, I'm making my 21 bean soup. I get it from Walmart all the time. If you know, inflation, man. I got the cornbread ready. So you got the cornbread, got the 20 bean soup. Got the 20 bean soup I got. So I'm gonna be hitting that. It's gonna be cold. I actually starting to warm up. I checked the weather this morning. It was actually 29 degrees. Yesterday it was 19 degrees. But we're gonna get on into what I'm coming in to talk about, which I'll probably here to listen to. But yeah, so inflation right now. The best way to combat inflation, employment. Whether you have to work 2 jobs, or you have to go get you a real good job, that's the best way to help out. A lot of us, we tend to, go with the norm, sit there and complain, whine and dine. But as the old cliche says, scared money don't make money. What's going on? And so the thing is, we have to get to a point in which where we trying to, overcome some of the things that's going on with our finance. So one of the things to combat that is, so we're gonna have to, do some things to help our finance, which is, get a skill, get a trade, or possibly go back to school. For those that, in the industries, you might have to update your certificates, or possibly even go back to school and get you another degree, or up your degree into a PhD or a master's, one of the two. Take that bachelor's and upgrade it. But in your field, of choice that you want to get into or that you're already in, there's a lot of ways that you can, upgrade yourself. For one, people that are in, let's say not even accounting, like clerks, call centers, go into data analytics. What's going on, Aqua? What's going on, Meek and Young Wiz? Catch y'all while I'm driving. But when you go into data analytics, go into data entry, something that's in your field that you can, upgrade if you work at a call center. If you're a receptionist, take on some accounting classes, depending on what type of receptionist you are, medical billing and coding. That might be something that's a little more advanced, but, you make more money. Personally, in my opinion, especially with young men, there are some women that want to take on these trades, but getting into being an electrician, being a plumber, kind of a rough job, dealing with the poop. But other than that, putting in sinks, putting in drain pipes, all that stuff is easy before it's used. I mean, quick money. Carpentry work. A lot of people have gotten into that lately. I've seen, excuse me, where they're taking old furniture and refurnishing it. Thank you for the people coming in and hit that like button. I appreciate it. But they're refinishing furniture. You know, you have the best furniture is all the old furniture. So you might have a grandma throwing away an old dresser. Take that dresser, strip that dresser, put some stain on it, put some new handles on it and everything. There you go. A lot of people are doing this, making good money on it, because the newer stuff, IKEA, pressboard, all these things are just breaking. You know, it's weird. My friend, he bought his daughter a brand new dresser, and the dresser was mad heavy, but he was like, you know, my daughter break this dresser, then that's it. She put her clothes on the floor. Because, you know, these kids nowadays, man, they play. I mean, we played back in the day, but our stuff was worth it because, you know, we had like real solid oak wood dressers and, you know, things that were made of real wood. You know, when the doors put together, they weren't put together by glue. They had lock and groove to where they interlocked with each other. So only way that dresser came apart is when you drop it and broke it. Other than that, it was good. Like that dresser, nothing was wrong with that dresser. You know, you end up having that dresser for years. Them Mills, what's going on in the building? How you doing? Red Rising. Yeah, so a lot of times we will have this, you know, notion that trades are not as good, but trades really built the economy back in the day. Doing civil rights when we had a lot of people that we want to put in office, like when Jesse was running. Furthermore, beyond that, when you had Tulsa, before Tulsa, before Rosewood, before Greenwood, you know, what is it, North Carolina? Fairfield, not Fairfield is up in Virginia. Fayetteville, North Carolina. A lot of those men were in trades. Those men were in trades. They took their money and pushed the economy. You know, just like they said, the money circulated in our community over a year when we was in Tulsa. There was other states that had the same, you know, that had the small black communities. Everybody bought from each other. When we integrated, you know, the money got mixed and, hey, the money went down. But, you know, get back into what I was saying, that trades built America. You know, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, that when you graduate from college, most people are in debt. You know, if you do it right, you can avoid the debt. You know, my wife, I was telling her that when she was in school, I was saying, basically you avoided debt the whole time. A lot of her classes she paid for cash out of pocket. And got down to the nursing, that was the only thing she couldn't avoid, is going through that nursing program at this college down here. It was about $25,000. So we budget for it, but that was it. Other than that, like, man, it gets crazy. Like, I've seen on what's the guy name that does all the money talk? I can't think of his name right now. He's always trying to help people get out of debt. But basically with him, he actually had one caller called in, Dave Ramsey, that's his name. But he had a caller call in. The caller called in and said that they were $900,000 in student loan debt. So the young man ended up going to school to become a doctor. Just at the ethnicity of him, he was African, not African American, but African. Came to America. Parents, you know, thought highly of him to become a doctor. He actually took the test, everything, schools, all that. Failed it the first time. Said he thought he missed something, so he went back, took it again, the whole 4-year course, missed it up again, went back again, the 4-year course, because trying to get through undergrad, you gotta, go through the process of everything else. And he just kept failing the tests and everything. And he had enough schooling to become become a teacher. So he ended up going to school teaching science at a high school. And he was still studying, going through the process. He was dedicated to it. But you look at $900,000 in debt. When you become a doctor, when you first start off, you don't make that much money. I mean, you talking about 80 going into the 120. So the only good thing about it being a doctor, they know you're going to make the money. So a lot of banks will be leaning on giving you a loan, or cars, same thing. But in the end, you're putting a lot of time and energy into becoming a doctor. And you have to stay the course. You have to worry about lawsuits. You have to worry about malpractice. You have to worry about doing the right thing. When you're doing it, covering your back is looking at other people, so they won't blame nothing on you. There's a lot of things that go into play with that. And then on top of that, paying off your student loan. So this guy's already at 900 and he's taking the course again. So this time he's only going to take the courses that he needs to actually pass the test. So he's still going to be over $1 million. And the thing of it is, like, when is he going to be able to pay that $1 million back? You're $900,000 in student loans, and you're going to take a course again that'll put you well over $1 million. How is that going to work for you if you don't have the money? Most doctors, they don't get tenured to what, about close to 10 years? And that's when the money really picks up. That's when you're making the $300,000 to $500,000. And it also depends on what type of doctor you are. Anesthesia doctors, hands got to be precise, knowing the measurements, all that. They get paid the big bucks. They actually, the ones that, put people under. So the dose might be too high. You might put somebody under for life. It might be too low. They might feel everything and wake up during the process of the surgery. So there's a process that you have to do and study all that. Needless to say, when it comes down to it, take for instance a plumber. A plumber goes into his field, straight out of high school, go get a trade, 6 months, maybe a year. He's already in his field making about $50,000, I would say $60,000 a year, just being a plumber, working for a company. 4 or 5 years pass, he can actually freelance to do it on his own, or just freelance a couple of jobs while he's working at this job he's at. He's going to have all the tools. Most companies let you take the vehicles home, so you be ready for work in the morning. And if they don't, you can buy all these tools and actually start doing it yourself. Most plumbers, their salary increases, pretty much significantly according to, the way that they work, and then taking on big jobs for a company and doing well. Hey, those when bonuses come in. Same thing as being an electrician. Don't you know, some electricians make $92 an hour? I seen an ad up in Washington State looking for an electrician that does, I forgot what it was. It was something dealing with the power company, structuring the lines, and $92 an hour. You was in a union. And this is according to not just starting off being an electrician. This is a tenure. Like, you've been in the field for 10 plus years. Prime example, even with going into the fields of being in computer, there's a guy, he has an intern, one of my close friends, his intern started off working for him. Yep, sorry about that. I had a call. But he has an intern that started working with him. And the crazy part about that intern is the intern looked up his job, his certifications that he's getting now. And so the intern says, well, when I get through with my internship, I'm going to apply for a job for you guys. And, you know, just casual conversation, he was saying that, well, you know, I think I should get about $90,000. He said no. And the guy was kind of strangely looking at him like, why I can't get $90,000? That's what the job posting says, that, you know, somebody that has my, you know, status and certificate should get. He said, but you forgetting the thing. This is a guy who's been working in this field 5+ years. You only been doing this a year and a half. You got the certificates because the ones I told you to get to that status. He said, you come in, starting off, you're going to get you're going to get $50,000 a year. Maybe 52. But the point of it is, a lot of people just want the money. They're not doing what it takes to get the money or keeping the money. You know, that's why I'm talking about with the inflation. A lot of us, if we want more money, we have to do more work. We have to go get the certificates. You know, driving jobs, same thing with me. Getting your CDLs. You know, don't want your CDLs, doing hazmat, getting a tick card, trick card, whatever, to go to the airport. Airport jobs pay. Airport jobs pay. Security clearances. I had a security clearances through the IRS when I used to work with them. The thing of it is, subcontracting, all that. If you want more money, you have to do what it takes. You have to get the necessary certificates. Coding, same thing. Getting certificates to go into coding. A+ certified, C+, you know, spyware, all those malware softwares. You got to get the certificates to learn how to use these programs. So if you get a job, hey, you're in there. Coding is the biggest thing. It's made easy right now for a lot of people. Designing websites. Don't you know how many people just give their money away? Clay Bixby, what's going on, man? I ain't seen you in a minute. What's going on with you? But you know how many people actually give their money away to people making websites? And they can just go on Wix, get an account, drop all this stuff in there that you want, and there's your website. I had a friend, he just paid a guy to build him a website, words, no pictures. And he was like, join, tell me what you think. Join the website, went through the little training program that he had set up, and I'm like, dude, there's no pictures. And he's like, well, you know, I'm like, it's nothing wrong with reading a book with no pictures, but the imagination, it starts with the beginning of the book. The front cover is the advertisement for the book. If the front cover doesn't catch a person's eye, whether it be words or pictures, then the person's not going to read the book. So when it comes down to it, just like the front cover, advertisement is everything, you know. And like I told him about him doing his business, dealing with stock options and all that, it's quite boring to some people. Like, you would literally have to see something like to actually get you motivated, because most people just have that nick to where they'll read just to be reading and advance their knowledge. But then there's some that's like, I read, but I don't like reading. I'll do the work if I have to. But it's just the whole point of making it interesting. In my opinion, that's why I told him and he was trying to target kids. And I was like, this is the wrong direction with kids. Kids have imagination. They need something to catch their eye. The adults, they can do this reading all the information about the candles, about, you know, different peaks in the market. but actually having some pictures showing you, like, look, this is what happening. You have to imagine in your head while you're reading that this might happen with the stock. You might think it might be a big old line that just swirls around. No, it's a constant, line that goes up, constant line that goes down. Dramatic lines going down, something's crashing. So when it comes down to it, a lot of times, that's why I'm saying, if you want to keep up with inflation, you have to advance your career. Some people taking on secondary jobs. A lot of people complain about not making enough money at their job, but they like their job. Get a secondary job. Drive for Uber. Get you something that you do as a hobby and make it a career. I know some people on YouTube that they do Etsy stores doing like craft. It's selling. Like, just something that you do as a small passion sells. But that's the biggest thing, And getting back into always my favorite is your finance. I got my boys on it, man. I just bought them some books from Amazon, a budgeting book. And I'm getting them to the point, they just got cell phones, and I'm going to have them to the point, they're doing their chores, they're going to start getting paid about $300 a month. I'm going to pay them $300 a month. I'm going to set up an account for them. I'm going to open that account, and when I get paid on Friday, I'm going to start paying them $300 a month, both of them. Me and my wife going to do it. And this is the thing. Even though that they're getting $300, they're not keeping $300, because I'm going to split the bills for them to pay the utilities. They're going to start paying their cell phone bills. They're going to pay their life insurance, everything. Before it's all said and done, they may be going to have their normal allowance, which is about, 20-some bucks a week. But that's the thing. They do more work. They can advance their money and start making more money. Going on jobs with me when I go do jobs. Some stuff that's small for them to do. Go when I do clean outs, just cleaning out properties for people, they can help me with that. When I'm doing some light plumbing jobs, they can come help me with that. Teaching them how to put it in the kitchen sink. That's only going to get them an advantage to where when they have a house, they know the necessary things to do. And then also with that, it's going to put them also in a situation to, have a side job to do. That, they can make a little extra money. But with that being said, shout out to everybody coming through. About to get ready to get up out of here. I had a call come in, I got to get back on that call. But when it comes down to it, a lot of times, man, for us to beat inflation, we have to make more money. And for us to make more money, we have to do what? Pick a better career, or advance the career that we're in, or pick a side job that can make us some extra money. With that being said, you know what I always say when I get off here? We here, and we gone. Peace.